Hello friends and welcome to my channel. Today we are planning out the week of February 12th through the 18th in my Aura Estelle planner with my Caress Press inserts. The kit I'm using this week is from Caress Press. It was a mystery kit and it was called Love Brunch, and I did use the foil that came with this kit, which is very often that I use the foil that actually came with the mystery kit. But the second I got this kit in the mail, I just felt absolutely in love with it and knew I had to pick it. Well, I already had it, but knew I had to change my kit lineup and use it this year is what I meant to say. And it was just such a cute kit for Valentine's Day, and I am so happy I fit it in. I did end up color blocking this week, which is something I've been getting more into recently, and I just can't believe it. Never thought I would have seen the day, but here we are. So admittedly, in real time, I am filming this voiceover on Thursday, March 28th. I have just been going through it. I have been putting all my effort into work, and when I get home, I'm into all the planning stuff until it comes to talking. I've been having a really hard time coming up with the energy to just talk for 20 minutes for these voiceovers. And I've also been going through, I guess, some self-confidence issues, and I'm not looking for a pity party or anything. I'm just explaining where my head's at. So if I sound a little bit off, you know why. But I've just been going through this whole, I guess, confidence issue thing about if continuing my channel and continuing being a public planner and sharing so much of my life, if people even care. And I know some of you do, but it just sometimes feels like I'm just talking it to the void. And feels like I'm just putting this content out to nothingness. I don't know how to explain it. I just don't feel like people care right now, which is ridiculous and is my own self-confidence issue that's coming from something. It's stemming from something else, and it's bleeding into the planning world, and I really don't like it. But that is just kind of where we're at in real life right now. So I'm going to try to get out of this funk, this state of mind, and just continue with my general routine, which includes doing voiceovers for you all and just trying to get out of this funk. I just also feel super lonely, and as you all know, I just really want my person, and I know a lot of you are like, you're going to find them. But my thing is, how will I find them? Because if I only am ever at work, and then if I'm not at work, I don't leave my house. I know there's dating apps, which I'm on them, but honestly, no one's just interesting enough or can hold a conversation that keeps my interest enough to care to go on a date with any of them. So that is where we're at real time. But the week we're currently planning, like I said, was Valentine's Day, which, if you don't know, is always an interesting week for me. My best friend, who I considered a sister, who passed away, her birthday was on Valentine's Day. And so it's just weird. It's a day, that we see a lot, in the stores, a lot of representation, a lot of celebration. And it's just harder that it's her birthday because it's just kind of a constant reminder that she's gone. But this year specifically, Valentine's Day was interesting because if you don't know, I'm obsessed with the band Fall Out Boy, and their drummer actually ended up getting married on Valentine's Day, and they just had the cutest wedding of all time. And I'm just so happy for him. So, that was definitely, a good thing that happened this week. Also, this week was supposed to be the Daytona 500, which I was annoyed for because I was going to have to miss it, but it was rain delayed, so I got to watch it on my day off the following Monday. Spoiler alert, which was really nice. Also this week, so I am a murderer. I murder plants. I really do. I love plants, and I wish I had a green thumb. And my mom is always like, you just don't try, and you just don't put in the effort. And like that comment drives me insane because the last few plants I've had, I've literally tried. And they just die. I just don't understand. So this week, in the mail, it actually came. I got one of those easy plants. I'd been it was probably a targeted ad on Instagram. But I saw you could buy these potted plants. They came pre-potted that you only had to water once a month. And I was like, you know what? I think I can handle that. Although she's looking a little, I don't know. I think she's shedding a couple leaves at the moment. But so far, she's still alive, real time. She's sitting right next to me. Her name is Palmeria. And she's living on my kitchen counter. I really want more plants in my house. I feel like something about the greenery, and maybe it's like the actual like oxygen they help produce, I don't really know, helps my mental health. Although they don't even necessarily have to be real, because before I got this, I got a fake like big palm that I put in the corner of my dining room. And even since getting that, I swear it's helped lift my mood some. So if you don't have any plants in your house, real or fake, y'all might want to think about getting some, because I really do think it's made a difference. And it's just also made my house look more homey and like lived in. So that's my spiel about plants. Also, I don't know if I got like one of those affiliate codes for like buying something from their website where I could share with you all to get a discount. If I do, I'll put it in the description box down below so you can save some money if you wanted to try to get an easy plant. I don't know if it exists. If it doesn't, I'll just link the normal website. It did say it was going to take like a month to get to me, but it definitely took only like a couple days. And it was cold when they shipped it to me. And I was worried because it arrived when I was at work and sitting on my front porch all day that the cold would get to it. But they put these little like almost like the little hand pocket heater warmer things in there, so the plant didn't get cold. And I thought that was just like a touch that showed that the company like cared. So that's that. Also, if you hear background noise, I am doing laundry, and Lucy and Olivia are living their best lives in the background. I just realized that you might be able to hear the washer because I notice it can pick up when I film at my kitchen counter. So sorry about that if you can hear it, but I realized today that I desperately needed, or tonight rather, that I desperately needed to do laundry. So we're doing that last minute. Oops. I'm just really liking orange a lot in kits this season. I feel like a good pop of orange is just something I'm enjoying, and I think it's funny because it's like the peach something is like the Pantone color of the year, so I feel like it's very on trend for people that follow that. This week also I stayed at my parents' house going into the week, so I woke up there and I had to go to the dentist because I was due to get my Botox for my jaw. And in good news with that, we do think it's actually making a difference. I've noticed a difference in my jaw shape looking at photos from when we started, and he said he does feel like the muscles have gone down. So That's just something that is very exciting, although I can tell I am still clenching my teeth. I think it's just not as bad and not as frequent. And it's just one of those things that in my day-to-day, it's hard to notice. Like initially when we started doing the Botox, my headache was gone. I used to always have a headache that I didn't really like notice I had because it was just constant. And that veil was kind of lifted, and now I think it's just kind of managing that. It's just unfortunate because it's not cheap. But that's where we're at right now. So hopefully in the future we can get to a point where I don't need that, but I'm not going to hold my breath or anything. So getting into the day by day, starting with Monday, February 12th, the first thing I put in was that I slept like shit. Sleeping at my parents' house, especially the first night I'm at their house, it's just not good. Not only do I not sleep well, but my dog, well, I probably don't sleep well because Lucy, my dog, doesn't sleep well. And so she keeps me up at night. So I put that in, and then even like I woke up, I ate breakfast, and I immediately went and took a nap. That's how bad I slept. And I was also just anxious about going to the dentist per usual. Then I got my Botox. And then this day I finished reading The Second Mrs. Astor, which was a movie about a woman who survived the sinking of the Titanic. Then my mom and Tito drove back to my house from my parents because my mom had left her car here. And then this night we watched The Traitors. Moving into Tuesday the 13th, I put in that it had snowed that night. Not a ton, but still I wanted to mark it. Then I did my makeup, and then this day I started reading House of Earth and Blood, which I am still embarrassingly reading. I had a really hard time getting into this book, to be honest. I read, aka listen to audiobooks most of the time when I'm driving or in the shower, and in the last month I've just been really into a music mode versus a book mode. Then I went to work this day, and then when I got home, Mom and I caught up on Name That Tune, and then this night, she and I watched Magic Mike's Last Dance, just for fun, because we watched all the other Magic Mike movies together. Moving into Wednesday, February 14th, the first thing I had to mark was that it was Natalie's birthday, and my symbol for her is a butterfly. I don't know if I'll ever quit marking her heavenly birthdays, but for now, it's just something I can't seem to give up. And then I put in that it was, of course, Valentine's Day. And then I marked Meredith and Andy's wedding. And then I did my makeup, and I had to go to work this day. And then while I was at work, my dad came over, and he surprised me with, like, one of those rose arrangements that you don't have to water, but, like, lives for a year. And it's specifically, like, a Barbie pink. And then my parents and I went out to dinner, and then Mom and I came home, and we played Jeopardy on the Switch, which is something we hadn't done in a long time. Mom and I really love trivia, and it's just really fun. We actually play as a team when we do Jeopardy instead of against each other, and we just enjoy it. So highly recommend. It also comes with Wheel of Fortune, which we play sometimes, not as much, but it's a good game too. Moving into Thursday the 15th, this day I slept in, and my mom left in the morning. And then because she was gone, I could continue my binge of Vanderpump Rules. And then I did all the planning because I'd finally had time to myself. Not complaining at all, just is a fact. So I was just catching up with that. And then I did some editing. Probably the stuff that I had filmed from all the planning. I never know if I should mark it as filming or planning because it's kind of like tomato at this point, but I prefer to mark planning since it's more of my hobby than the actual filming is. Like, I wouldn't film without planning, but I would plan without filming. And then Friday the 16th, it was payday, and then this day I posted my 2023 Q3 flip through. I did my makeup, and then I went to work, and I came home, and I just watched some Vanderpump Rules. Moving into Saturday the 17th, this day I slept in, and then I watched, can you guess what I'm about to say? Let's say it together. Vanderpump Rules, and did my makeup. And then I went to work, and this day was just like the longest day ever. I think it was because I was worried that my plant was going to freeze to death, because this is the day that I got Palmaria in the mail. And then moving into Sunday the 18th, this was Sheet Sunday, so I put in a little bed mark doing my laundry, and then I just used a little phone icon from the foil bundle to mark that I posted my first Instagram reel. I still don't get how to film and record reels well, so if anybody has any tips, tricks, suggestions, help a girl out. And then I marked that NASCAR was canceled with a nope sticker and some checkered flags, and then I watched more Vanderpump Rules. And then I did some planning this day, probably finishing out the majority of this week. And this was the day I also put on the checkerboard nails that you see here. Just so excited for the start of NASCAR season, which, didn't start this day, but it's fine. And then I did my makeup, and then I went to a work meeting to finish out my night and my week, which Sunday night work meetings are just so long. And I am definitely a morning person, not a night owl, so I have the hardest time focusing, staying awake, paying attention. It is a true struggle for me. So here we're moving into the scripts that I formatted myself and Plannahannah foiled for me in Pink Hollow. It was the closest foil I could find to the one that came in the press bundle. And I will have this font linked in my description box for anybody that's curious. I just thought the little hearts for the O were super cute, given that this was Valentine's Day and just a very lovey-dovey kit. I also like that it's kind of like a handwritten script type font. Those tend to be some of my favorites, I've noticed. I wish my handwriting was this neat. If it was, I wouldn't be doing the whole script thing, or wouldn't have even started it to begin with. But here we're going to go ahead and do a zoomed out wiggle. Look at that shine. And that's going to bring us to our final close-up. I hope you all enjoyed this plan with me. Thank you for listening to me rant, complain, vent to you all. If you are struggling, just know that you are definitely not alone. My DMs are open on Instagram. It is RoseyPlans, like it is here. Subscribe if you haven't. Like this video. Leave any comments, questions, concerns down below. I hope you all have a good day, night, afternoon, evening, whenever you're watching this video. I'll see you later, friends. Bye!